Greetings. This is section 1 of a 4-part presentation on Neohumanism. Except for a brief introduction, this presentation largely follows the order and content of discourses 1 to 4 in the book Liberation of Intellect, Neohumanism. That book is a series of 11 discourses by Shrii Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar, the guru or preceptor of Ananda Marga, affectionately known to all Margis as Baba. As we begin, let us take a moment to consider the scope and role of Neohumanism. Neohumanism is a practical philosophy with a unique social outlook. The uniqueness applies to how each neo-humanist citizen views the universe, and to how each neo-humanist society views its citizens and the universe. Baba explains the role of neo-humanism as follows. As human beings progress toward the realm of spirituality, they are helped on the one hand by Prout, which guarantees a healthy social framework, and on the other hand by Neohumanism, which removes disparities. The relationship among Prout, Neohumanism, and Ananda Marga may be likened to the bird of Tantra. In Tantra, one wing is Nigama, theory, and the other wing is Agama, practice. Ananda Marga is like the tantric bird, but one wing is Prout, and the other wing is Neohumanism. The bird is flying along the path of beatitude toward the supreme entity. So why do we need Neohumanism? Human existence is mostly psychic. Human mentality, the inner world, has rhythm and speed. When the rhythm and speed of both the inner and the outer worlds are harmonious, you feel comfortable. When the rhythm and speed of the two worlds are not harmonious, you feel uncomfortable. Over time, humanity has made much intellectual progress. Unfortunately, that progress is not mirrored in the external world. Consequently, mental disease has increased greatly. As of February 2009, the Mental Health Foundation in England reports as follows. 1 in 6 people in England suffer from a common mental health problem at any given time, but only a quarter of them receive any form of treatment. Of those that receive treatment, only 1 in 10 receives a talking therapy, despite the fact that clinical guidelines recommend that a range of psychological treatments be made available. Furthermore, the impact of mental distress is worsening among some groups. For example, the rate of common mental disorders, typically depression and anxiety, has risen by 20% among middle-aged women since 1993, and there has been an 80% increase in self-harm among women aged between 16 and 24 since 2000. Over history, humanity has embraced many philosophies. Some were only about the spiritual world. A common philosophy in India is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Only the supreme entity is true. This world is a lie. Some philosophies touched on the mental world but could not find balance. For example, we find philosophies of life reflecting cynicism, stoicism, and hedonism. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. Some imagined a utopia in the physical world. For example, universal suffrage, communism, Walden, and Walden II. None of those philosophies were practical. All lacked the dynamism required to cope with an ever-changing world in which two objects are never the same. Love for the Supreme, or devotion, is the highest and most valuable treasure of humanity. It is an inner asset and very tender. To preserve this treasure, to safeguard it, a protective fence is required. The protective fence is a philosophy that establishes harmony between the spiritual and material worlds and provides perennial inspiration for the onward march of society. Geosentiment grows out of love for the indigenous soil. From geosentiment come geopolitics, georeligion, geoeconomics, and so on. Sociosentiment grows out of love for a social group. From sociosentiment come sociopolitics, socio-religion, socioeconomics, and so on. Humanism grows out of love for all human beings, but that love does not extend to non-human creatures, and so it may conflict with their interests. All of these sentiments, geosentiment, sociosentiment, and ordinary humanism, confine human intellect. But the nature of human beings is to seek maximum mental expansion in all directions. Spiritual aspirants consider everything to be a manifestation of Brahma, the supreme entity. This subjective approach cannot be maintained with a social outlook based on geosentiment, sociosentiment, or even ordinary humanism. Hence, humanism must be extended to universalism. It must be elevated to not just a cult or a principle, but indeed a mission of love for all created beings of the universe. For more information on Neohumanism, please view the next 3 sections of this presentation.